All right, and we wait for YouTube, as is tradition, and we are live, I believe. Let me just verify before I say we're live, and then YouTube says, no, you're not live, Ranger, you're stupid. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gamers Jedi Academy here on a Saturday morning here in the U.S. It could be whatever time it is out there for you. Welcome to the stream, and this is a Q&A show, the longest running live stream Q&A show for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. I'm your man with the Plan Ranger J1999. Joining me as always is the Whaling Cannoneer, pardon me, Pirate Crew, the Whaling Cannoneer, Arthur Johnny Gosh.
What's up?
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Give your greetings in chat. You know we're an interactive stream, and we're definitely interactive on this stream because this is a straight Q&A show, Karth. I don't know if you know this, but we're just here to answer questions for the next couple of hours for all the homies and homettes out there. So if you have a question you want to pose to myself or Karth or anybody else who shows up, it's still early in the morning, early morning hours here in the U.S. for a lot of folks. But whatever content creators pop on, they're more than welcome. If you have a question you want to pose to us, make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question, comment, or statement, and we will get that best response and or answer that we can give you. There you go. That's pretty much all it is. We are on the YouTubes, guys. A couple things. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you like the content. Hit the subscribe button so you can get all the video content that we're putting out. We do have the latest lore video out. That was a lot of fun, Karth.
Yeah, it was a good time.
We'll try to do another one tomorrow. I gotta see who's available. You're available tomorrow, Karth? Someone said they weren't. I know Ram's not available, but
I should be.
Okay.
I want to say I should be.
Yes. And then, so check out that after you get done watching Jedi Academy, go watch the lore video. Give your opinions. The idiots really shit the bed on this one, and I really want you guys' opinion. Actually, no, you guys actually did a pretty decent job on that. But we already had a comment. Someone's like, Size Ventures is blah, blah, blah. I'm like, now you've been introduced to the idiots. So check that out afterwards. We might get D&D in tomorrow, so yeah, we got that going on. Other than that, man, yesterday was awesome. If you guys didn't see the stream yesterday, we had a blast. I actually didn't get to finish the Astros versus Rangers game because, well, I was committed to doing the stream, so I turned it off so I can completely focus in on you guys. And boy, did I miss the epicness of ever. But you guys did an awesome job of keeping me posted. I was losing my mind. We did very well in JC. We crushed our opponents and hit the limitation of the women. And then we watched Heinze just shit the bed. Oh, Karth, it was so beautiful last night. But I felt so bad for him because these fucking Datacrons in the top 80.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Suck.
criminal, dude. You know?
Yeah. That's what happened to me. I absolutely just my Leia cleanup. Like I went to versus Leia with Jedi Knight Cal and Jedi Master Luke, and was able to kill Drogon, but then I just couldn't dent Leia.
Yeah, he ran into the same problem last night. He couldn't kill R2 and Leia. Yeah.
Yeah, to a meaningful effect, and then I went in with Maul and ISC and Gar to clean it up.
Nope.
And I made one misplay, which I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna send it in and kill her and be done with it." But if I would have just used the AOE and gone with the 5 stack succeeding ray to the 4, I would have gotten it. But she just kept recovering just enough. Just enough to not die.
The stats, and they've gone up since then, is Leia on defense is 83%. All teams against her.
Yeah. I think the best counter right now is Lord Vader Maul Malicos is the best counter to her.
It's awful
because my opponent this round one tapped my Leia, and he didn't have Malicos in the front, so I'm assuming that's what he did.
Had to be, because that's pretty much what you're dealing with now, especially with these crons, man. They're out of control, dude. These defenses and stuff that just
that
make
75% damage reduction is just stupid. Yeah. Like I understand like half the rebel teams that being a useful thing for her, but like for Leia. No. For Leia, no.
Yeah.
That's so brutal.
It is. All right, should we say hi to all the boys and girls there, Karth, and get our greetings?
Sure.
Okay, let's do this. Ray Rock joining us first on deck. Har, joining the pirate crew. They're well in canon here. Har. This happy Saturday, Ranger and Picklers. That describes us aptly. Okay. Sapa 989 or 98 says hi. Hello there. Jedi rules from San Diego. Oh, there's no pickles on Twitch. Yeah, you can only play with your pickles on Twitch. Here, try to be a little bit more serious here, and by that we don't. Epic Fails says hello there. Hello there. Dark Side's joining us. The Dark Side says hello there. Hello there. Yeah, it's only on Twitch, Jedi rules. Epic Fail says, how about them galactic challenges? I mean, I had to piecemeal it, but I'll get my tier 9, tier 10 crate and
It was
oh,
Phoenix's last go around, right?
yeah. I couldn't get
Yeah,
the
what
top tier box because my Phoenix are not quite there against that top level team. But I'll take 9 and still get my Omicrons.
I mean, I was able to do it on the alt account with R3 Phoenix and then R5 Hera and R7 Rex.
Well, yeah, mine's Feast or Famine. Like Rex is 7, and some of them are relics, and then the other 2 are like 12. I'm like,
Yeah. You gotta be able to absorb a couple of those
you have to,
hits.
yeah, and you can't because the aliens
Even
will eat you alive, man. So yeah.
yeah, Grievous is brutal.
Yeah. Dalton Miles Sato. Konnichiwa. Konbawa says hello there. Hello there. We're doing a lot of hello there's today. Supper says I should have gear 12 SLKR soon, but I'm out of energy in GAC currency. Well, that happens. Just take your time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You'll get there eventually. BD says howdy, Ranger Carthrick and Skewers. Hey buddy, what's going on? What else in 3? Because good morning, quite the night, huh? Oh yes, it was. Very much so. Carl Copenhagen with our first question. Glad to have you here. Actually, it's not Copenhagen, it's Copage. I always say Copenhagen. I don't know. I'm an idiot. What is the best mod set for Maul under Lord Schmader? Guys in my guild say it really doesn't make that much a difference whether you use offense or health or health. Actually, I go different. I go speed set with offense with health because I like a very fast Maul and doing nasty shit right off the bat. Yes, he doesn't hit as hard, but it doesn't matter. It's fucking Maul, man. I like setting him off immediately. It really makes people trying to use Fennec counter regret it because he's
Yeah.
like turn, death. It's like, I like that setup. I mean, offense, if you can get him above 310 with really strong offense is very doable. You want above 310
Yeah.
because you get the 40 with Lord Schmader. But I also like the speed set with health set or whatever I got on him because of the raid. Getting him out early in the Rancor raid helps tremendously.
Well, when he's leading, when Maul is basically this is the best way to look at it. If you're ever gonna split Maul, or if you're not gonna remod it very often, Maul does better with max health under when he's leading Mandalorians because his leadership gives 5% for every Mandalorian ally, the 25% total, where protection doesn't really do anything else for you. So having a larger health pool gets you more going on with your Seething Rage offense. So it's if it under Lord Vader though exclusively, it doesn't really matter. Offense, if you can get like you said over 310, and then either run a combination of protection primaries and offense, then it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. To how he's modded, there's not a 100% a particular way because he's more of an engine for Lord Vader under the team than he is full on like destroying things.
He's awesome. Jason Harvey says, word to the mothership. Word indeed. Glad to have you here, JH. Jedi rules. Make sure you put the word question in front of everything, Jedi rules. But I get you here. It says, Ranger Karth question. How do I beat tier 2 of the GLA event? Yeah, he's been asking me that a lot. And we're getting ready to do it this week, Karth. I will be tagging you for that because I should have Drogon done tomorrow. But I don't know if I have all the relics. I just did. But it'll be this week. We're going to be doing some Leia stuff. But let's talk about the tier 2 of the Leia thing.
The short answer is, and this is what I found most consistent for a lot of people, it's still not 100%. The fight is still kind of a pain in the ass. But I found that modding Rolo for with an offense set, potency cross, protection on the circle, and you can do crit damage on the triangle, but you can go either or protection or crit damage, and then crit avoidance on the arrow. Well, if you have because speed's not really an issue here. They both passively gain turn meter, so it's not that big of an issue. But that setup for Rolo has been fairly consistent for me, and then for Han, it's just as much tenacity as you can slam underneath him. And then again, protection on the circle and the triangle, and then a crit avoidance on the arrow.
There you go.
And that tends to be the highest success rate that I've had with it, and everyone that I've kind of got set up for that seems to do fairly well. Initially, I didn't have the crit avoidance on there, but I liked what Zareth had to say about it, so I was like, it's still hard to mitigate Vader's crit chance when he's in Merciless Massacre, but I don't think he has the full power of that ability. So I think it's the crit avoidance there does help. So
There you go. Let's see here. Jesus Dominguez says Darth Altuve. Yes, the greatest. He will go down. He's the greatest second baseman ever. That dude is 5'5", 5'6" of just dynamite, man. He is disgusting. Jose Altuve is going to go down as the greatest second baseman ever. That dude is going to break all the records in the postseason on the pace that he's on. Home runs, hits, everything. Runs, just stupid what this guy does. And he's the smallest guy on the field. 5'5", hitting bombs. Hitting bombs. He's hit 26 home runs in the postseason. The record is Manny Ramirez 29. If he keeps this up, he's going to pass Manny Ramirez, and he's 5'5". So kids, remember, just not how tall you are or how big you are. It's what you do with it. He does a lot. So yes, and the Astros are one win away from another appearance in the World Series. I am truly spoiled if they get to the World Series, but we'll see what happens. They still have to do the work. Okay, we just did that. I'm just Skywalker Vader, a good Canadian friend up there in Canada, there, Karth, with all the other mushroom people of Nova Scotia and the Vulcans. Says live long and prosperous, and hello there. All right, there, eh? Hello there. Epic Fails with a question is, what do I do now? Squish to Kyber 2. Well, you do the same thing that I always do. Epic Fails. You climb back into Kyber 1, and immediately you get, when the next round of GAC starts, you get squished all the way back down to Kyber 2. Even though in the last 3 rounds, so 3v3, 5v5, in this one, I think I'm like 18-7 or something like that, and I'm still not in Kyber 1.
it's just how the system works. I
The
mean, if
system
you go,
works.
yeah, it's very hard to gain points consistently because you have to go 3-0 to make consistent strides, and 2-1 every week does not get you far enough because you're only netting like 40 points a week forward, and then the squish takes you back like 100 and something. So it's like you barely so like for a season you'll net like maybe a +20 if you go 2-1 every week.
Yeah.
And so it's like you really have to get a couple of weeks of going like 3-0 and get well into Kyber by a couple hundred points, and then it's easier to stay there. But for the most part, Kyber 2 is the new Kyber 1, and if you're in Kyber 2, just stay there and be happy.
Yeah.
And if you're not happy with Kyber 2, then go hang out in Kyber 3. The crystal reward isn't that different, and I think Sanity is a better place than an extra 50 crystals.
It feels like Greg Bijou, anyone, Ryan Sandberg. Yeah, they're great, but not only is his stats better and his hits, average, everything. If you look at go look him up and how many years he led the league in hits, average, everything. He's won an MVP like Sandberg, and Bijou never did. Don't get me wrong, I love the Killer Bees, and Bijou is one of my favorite players of all time, but Jose Altuve stays healthy. Look out. Let's see here. Question from Skywalker Vader. All right, a good Canadian representation says, gentlemen, GL Ray without her ultimate. Issues useless without her ultimate. What should I do with her in GAC? Offense. You put that on defense, man. And you don't have Ben. I mean, you can get away with it, but you don't even have the ultimate. So just keep for offense to go kick the shit out of something because you can control.
Yeah, you may not. You can't. It's a hard fight versus you like trying to GL fight with Ray with no ult.
Yeah, it's throwing it up in the air.
But the still you can still clear out most teams with her because that whirlwind deals so much damage that it's just you'll one tap something. So it's like she's still a good offensive team. She'll kind of play a little bit more like gas without her ultimate until you have it, and then once you have it, you can put her around wherever you need to. But definitely without Ben, she's not a defensive character without Ben. You have to have Ben.
Yeah,
so if you don't have that, then it's just always offense until you have Ben.
I mean, there are teams you can use with her without Ben on defense, but they're just not as strong, especially against Starkiller. So.
Oh yeah, well exactly. Like
And that's the counter. If they have it, they'll use against you because they're going to be salivating against that. So keep for offense, baby, until you get the ultimate. And then once you get the ultimate, then even you can still put her on defense, but you're going to have to think in threes, not as strong, will be easy star killer food, and in fives, it's a little bit more difficult, but not as it's not that much more difficult with even with star killer without Ben. So you need Ben really before you start putting her down, because you can run Barris and L3 and some other characters that can make that team annoying, but at the end of the day, star killer is still going to do what he does, and you're not going to do anything. So yeah, what can I tell you? Ray Rock, I'm still in Kyber 2. I haven't been dropped to Kyber 3 for a long time. Well, one day, maybe one day your dreams will come true there, Ray Rock. Yeah, I mean, GAC, man, we do it for fun. You know, I'll probably finish 6-3 like I always do or something. And yeah, I'll get into Kyber 1. And then I'm like, and the Squish. Yeah, I can Squish back.
Hey, but ending the season on Kyber 1's nice though, because you get that like week and a half
yeah,
of like
get those extra crystals.
The extra crystals, yeah.
Yeah, and I need them. Maximus Desmus Meridius 242 says, question: I know these light speed bundles are good for beginning players, and CG likes the money it brings, but but does anyone else feel like there's something bigger at play? Are we getting a GL game mode? I don't think so. I think they're just trying to get people caught up. I mean, if you look at the numbers, I mean, the thing that's really people are struggling with in low tier, mid tier is like the reason they started with these packs. Hard to get your thoughts on this. They need people to catch up. It's that simple, because they're skipping Ray and SLKR because now you've got Leia and all this other new stuff that's actually more advantageous to go for. And so, but it still takes a long time to farm that stuff. So they're trying to get players caught up so more players can participate in the end game content, whether it be TB, not just GAC or TW, but TB and all this other stuff. So they're trying to make it, because GLs are where it's at, where they're doing that. It's purely, one, it's a moneymaker, and two, it's a way to get these players caught up. And they still have to go back and get the Zetas and the mods, but that's a nice problem to have. That's compared to that and the actual farm for these characters. That's why they're doing it. I don't think there's any new game mode coming. You never know. I don't see one coming, but I've been wrong before. Rarely, but I am wrong. Actually, I'm wrong a lot. But yeah, what do you think? I think it's just purely catch up. They're trying to get these newer mid-tier players more caught up to the end game content. You know, they can make some money off of it. I don't know. What do you think, Karth? I don't think there's a game mode.
No, it doesn't make sense to do anything that's exclusively kind of like Galactic Legend locked. Really, what I think that's going to move towards is that they're they're trying to drive engagement, and for a lot of people, the hurdle of getting your first GL or two is what slows them down from really locking in and committing to the game. And so I think they're just going to help accelerate those characters that have been out there for a while. And I think I would be unsurprised at this point if at some point CG does Lightspeed Bundle for old Conquest characters too, because of how detrimental characters can be without their lifter. Like, you know, JMK is trash without Cat. Ray is way less viable without Ben. Lord Vader can get away without Maul, but you know, if you want to fight the top of the meta with it, you're not gonna. You need Maul. So you know, it's one of those things where there's I think if they kind of help players get caught up, the buy-in will be a little higher, and they'll continue playing. There's got to be some metrics on there saying that players get to 1 or 2 million GP and quit because the grinds just seems impossible. So kind of having some of these low-hanging fruit catch-up mechanics, I think that's going to be a better way for them to get people to stay invested.
Yeah. Question: I saw a new game mode just because of the new currency that was leaked. It was purple. Do you know what that was? I don't know what that was.
It was a whip. It literally says whip on it, like, which if you don't know what that means, but whip is work in progress.
Yeah.
So
we have no idea.
It's not final. Yeah. And it's a GL store. It's just designed to have things that you would need to unlock GL characters.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a new game mode where you only play with Galactic Legends, because that would be super Whale Town like end game content for players, and I don't think that's viable. CG's kind of trying to strike that middle road between free to play and big spenders on what they release for content, so that it's a consistent basis.
Mikey, Mr. Mike Mole, Mike Hole, I should say, says, question, I hear you're able to dual stream on Twitch, YouTube now. Are you going to start streaming more on YouTube again? No, we cannot do that. You can do that, but we are affiliated with Twitch. And the rules are you have to give content 24 hours minimum on Twitch before you can do it. So I cannot dual stream. So unfortunately, that is not a thing that will be happening anytime in the future. I'll go back and check and see if they changed it. But the most recent time I checked it, because someone asked me this previously, can't you dual stream? Like, I could, and then I would get banned on Twitch because that's the deal you make. They put advertising and all that stuff on Twitch. The trade-off is you have to give them exclusive content for 24 hours. So, yeah.
Yeah, once you're an affiliate, you can't do both.
Yeah, and partners
as far
even
as
worse.
I know.
Yeah, partners
Yeah.
even worse. That's one of the reasons we didn't do partners. Like, ooh, that's really restrictive. So, yeah. Question, is it bad I have 32 mods in my box? How much depression on the scale or do or do not do you failed? Also to get people 4 million to self conquest. Well, yeah, with the you talk about the packs, sure. Mods should be religiously worked on. Karth knows that I suffer mod depression all the time, but I do it religiously. I get my ass kicked with mods all the time. Like today, we got all those blue mods. I rolled every single one of them. I actually got 2 that were double digit blue. I'm like, ooh, creamy, good stats. But I'm being for me and Karth, mods at this stage is like we're looking for selective mods either in the store or what we roll to have like certain stats specifically because we just don't have the room. And I know a lot of you don't have the room, but in the beginning you're just happy to have mods. But as you start building out your roster, mods is something you got to stay on top of. Mods still play; they're exceptionally important. And if you're just letting mods sit in your inbox, it's bad. Okay, it's bad.
Yeah,
You need
make
mods.
room for them. Make room for them.
Get the shittier ones out. Keep the good ones until you're ready to roll them. That's what I'm doing. I'm having to constantly roll my mods in and out. And I'm sure you do the same thing, Garth.
Well, yeah, I usually have about an inventory of 400 out of my 500 cap, so that way I've got room to move mods. But you get to a certain point of like, I don't keep a gold mod if it's under 10 speed, on
unless
a
it did
secondary.
something like health,
Well, yeah, unless it's a very specific stat, like
tenacity, that kind of thing. It's like, okay, I can do something with that.
If there's something specific, or there's like you always have the exception to the rule, right? Because there's always characters that don't need a ton of speed, but they like other stuff. So a little bit of both, it's kind of nice. Like I had a protection cron for defense primer with 9 speed, but it rolled 3 times on offense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go through it under 5 so that when he sacrifices, he gives out little extra boost to my rest of my team. So there's like always exceptions to the rules, but I mean for the most part, it's you have to start drawing just arbitrary lines of when you don't keep mods anymore and just start binning them. Like honestly, for me, if a blue mod is under 8 speed, it's gone. I don't care. Purple mods, I can kind of be a little flexible between 8 and 10, but for me, it's like yellow. If they're gold mods and they're under 10 speed, they're gone. Unless it's a specific circumstance. And then go from there, level up a couple of your green ones. If they don't hit, then just sell them off, and get them out of there. Go through your primaries you don't use. How many defense triangles do you have or want or need? How many defense crosses do you need? How many defense arrows do you need? How many crit avoidance arrows do you need? They're very small numbers. So you can always fine tune those out. Get rid of some of your speed primary arrows, on the health, especially health ones that have a bunch of flat stats. If you have like 2 flat stats on a speed primary, it's just like, well, that's kind of not very helpful. So cycle some of those out and create room for always kind of being able to upgrade and look at and improve your mods.
Yeah, you got to work on mods, man. It's just it's the nature of the beast, man. All right, what else? 93 question. Thoughts on Pass so far? Initially, it seems like he's not going to not do as well without Bo Mandalore. No, but I mean, that's the way they designed it. He still looks good. His kit looks really good.
Well, I mean, literally, he's designed to work under a full light side team, right?
Yeah.
there isn't a good one available. Like the best leader we have is Bo, OG Bo,
Yeah.
who's a really kind of shite leader.
No, not good.
So it's like, yeah, I don't see a huge reason to push him until we see the new one, the new
Yeah,
Bo.
and we pretty much know what the new characters are going to be. Axe is going to come in. Whatever her name is, Reef. I always get her name wrong. They're coming in. We're gonna have a full Mando team for the legendary character, 4 characters, and then Bo will make the 5th. And it's a standard legend event. It could be different,
Well,
but
we know for a fact there's 3 marquees on deck,
yes,
that are coming, and it makes the most sense for CG to monetize this with as many marquees as possible. So the odds are they'll give us more, but it may not necessarily be all for Bo-Katan's team. So we might get some stuff that might help strengthen the Imperial Remnant faction to be a little bit more formidable than what we currently see. So there are options of what they could bring in. There's a lot of things from season 3 that they could bring in. So they don't have to be working under. They'll do so. They could do something similar, do something similar as to what they did with Leia, right? Where the 4 marquees are relatively tied to what's happening with her,
yeah,
but they by no means go with her. Only Drogon went with her. The rest of them went, you know, Rex went to Phoenix, Scout goes to Imperial Remnant, and Kanice went to Ewoks. So they could do something similar there too, and just bring in a character to help bolster factions.
yeah. So we'll see. Battlestar 3 Ranger isn't as hot in a bikini as Amaranth, so you wouldn't get away with that. No, I am not. So that
Yeah, well, I think Twitch is at the point now where they'd rather keep Amaranth on their platform than fight her on what she does to market and monetize herself.
yeah.
So
If they're
my
making
guess
money,
they'll let her.
if you
Yeah,
make them money, they're going to be like,
you make them that much money,
yeah.
I
There's one
guarantee
chick
you.
that popped up on my thing. She's literally topless, but has paint everywhere. I can't remember her name. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Oh
can't
yeah,
compete
body
with it.
painting was a
Yeah,
big thing for a while.
yeah. She doesn't, and then hides her ginormous tatas. It's like, yeah,
Right.
I can't
You
compete
gotta
with that. Yeah,
you got a pasty over the nipple, and that apparently is
yeah,
now allowed for coverage. So
yeah.
whatever.
Hey, man. And I can go shirtless. I guess throw some paint on. I do have my 6-pack back, so I could get away with it. So. But I
Mine's
don't
in
think
the
anybody wants to
fridge.
see even. I don't think there's a lot of people that want to see me even as good as I'm looking. I don't think they're interested in seeing topless Ranger. I don't think that's going to go well, Karth. So
I mean, don't knock it till you try it,
I
right?
guess get a large women following. And some mans. Cobra cast this question: do you think we're going to get a light speed Zeta bundle? If not, have an idea for how they could let us catch up on
Don't they
Zetas.
already have one like currently in the
Yeah, they do.
store?
Yeah, I thought there was one in the store.
It's $65 for 10 Zetas of absolute trash
Yeah.
packness.
So
Hey, at least they brought it down from
that was a lot more
from
back in the
100.
day. Yeah.
It used to be 100. Um, honestly, I don't know if what their plan is to help the Zeta Crunch. Events like they're doing right now is bananas good value because that 1,050 crystals you spend in is netting you roughly like I would say between 10 to 15 Zetas depending on what your drop rate is every day, which is getting you like insane value from even what the end of GAC pack is, which it's like usually you get 4 or 6, so you get like 10 for 2,400 crystals. So it's like you're getting a Zeta and a half for half the cost. So it's if you're able to do the Zeta match right now, that's a huge,
All I
huge.
know is, man, the Drogon drop rate has been fantastic, dude. I went from two
I
days,
am
some
so glad
5 to 6, just like that. It's
I am not
unbelievable.
farming Kanisa, and I'm not farming Rex, because those
Yeah.
nodes are so much slower, which it makes sense why they did them the way they did,
Yeah.
because they're much slower, but for a lot of people they were closer to unlocking those characters. But Drogon, I mean, like I went from 0 out of 30 on Drogon to I am 35 out of 85, and I still have 2 more days. Like I'm gonna get really close to maxing him out on the alt account.
Yeah, I'm 8 out of 100. So the next 2 days, I'm averaging about what did I get today?
It's like 40 some shards
Yeah.
is the
So
rough average
so as
if
I
you're
said
doing
this week, we will
the
get Drogon up, and the cool thing with that is we'll get Drogon up and running. And we'll start the GLA event later this week because I before I go and get the rest of the whatever I have left over out of the store, I want to see how many I get with these pulls. Plus the the material from the pulls for mod shit has been fantastic. So yeah, it's a double win. And then Cantina, man, I'm still farming signal data, so it's been nice getting the Cartex out of that shit. It was like, that's nice. I need those. So because the Zeta pack in the store right now doesn't count as light speed in my mind. The value isn't there. That's true. They could come up with a new pack. You never know with CG. But they're very frugal when it comes to Zetas and Omicrons and shit. Uh, I don't know. Uh, CG really wants us to get GLA unlocked. Yeah, they do. I'm surprised Jogan's
it's
not been made farmable yet, but if they're going to do events like this before
it,
it becomes
it'll
farmable, I'm for it.
yeah
God bless you, CG. Thank you.
he should be out next week,
Yeah.
which is fine because like I think he's gonna end up in a Cantina node anyways, but it's really kind of one of those things where it's like CG's been really like um what's the right word for this? Uh they just been giving out a lot of the shards for Leia, and I think a large portion of that is that they know she's going to be a main stay for the raid, and so like they want to kind of incentivize people to get closer to unlocking her faster
Mm.
than the normal typical like 6 months after a GL releases people start kind of picking them up kind of thing if you're unless you're a spender and then you're day one ready to throw your head into the wall.
Oh.
That's not can of worms, but yeah.
All right. Sapa says, question, does Hoda work well with SLKR?
No.
No. He should be on
I mean,
he can.
he
I mean, in
he
certain
can,
circumstances, but it's
but
it's not
it's
ideal.
yeah, it's like you're not providing enough of the core mechanics required. Like, well, the reason why armor works there is because of the protection recovery and the max health and defense that come with the Beskar ingots.
Yeah.
The counter chance is nice, but then like why Wat Tambor works there as well is because again of the cleansing, and it's the mechanics you're after with those like support characters. But for most first order squads, you want full first order because if you break it, then Hux's unique doesn't turn on.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is that you need to have the clause or you need to have a reason to bring something in to break it. So I wouldn't say that Hoda would do well
Yeah, we
on that
used him in Sith Raid, yeah, as Cobra Cast says, but that was a very unique circumstance situation where you were trying to do something specific with that team. That was a mishmash mosh of team to beat that, and that's just the way it works. But the rest of the time, And he's just so much better with Jedi. It just is.
Well, yeah,
Um,
because mass training is doubled with Jedi,
oh
so
yeah, yeah.
I'll take
Mass
25%
training.
more.
Hey, Evo the Extraordinary says hello from not San Diego. He's up there in Canada too with the Skywalker Raider. Says happy sleep Saturday and skull as ever. Har. Cobra Cast question: CG has made a ton of changes to get everyone to focus on farming new content. Is that just because accounting says new content is more profitable, or is there something big coming? A little bit of A, a little bit of B there, I think.
I mean, it's CG's model since Galactic Legends has always been to push players to farm the newest shiniest thing because the power creep that comes with it. And so that's where the push has been for a long time. But they with Jabba and Leia specifically, they wanted to incentivize people to take a part or take a to be a part of the next content that's coming. And so like with Jabba, we got the new crate raid. With Leia, we're getting the new Endor raid. It's rewarding players for investment, and I think that's the big thing. It's just getting people to bait line hooker and get them in the door on the return on investment. Because I think for a lot of people that was like the main thing. Is like if the character is not going to be phenomenal, then why can't like honestly, everything that CG told us for Leia, everyone was like, well, she's an offensive, GL. So we're not going to really need her day one because I don't need
Mm-hmm.
another offensive GL per se, right? And then now she's a defensive powerhouse and people are scrambling to get her because she's just so bananas powerful. So
Bananas bananas.
exactly.
Let's see here. Mike Horse says, question, with Leia being so easy to farm with the added drops, do you think the raid requirements will be heavier like Relic 9 for top score? No, I don't think
I don't
so. Because they haven't
I
done
don't
enough
think
support
so.
material. Even with the new raid store, Relic 9 is still a bitch to get.
Well, and that's the big thing right now is that every time somebody like, well, they're gonna up the requirement. It's unlikely because if CG was going to bump relics, it would have been 6 months ago when R9 was a year old. Because that's kind of been their mantra is 6 to 9, 9 months to a year is when they increase the relic levels. And they've done literally nothing
Nothing.
besides a few events to increase the availability of droid brains. And Gerda keypads are still atrocious for gear. Like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
still terrible for people to get through. So it's one of those things where it's like I maybe something's on the horizon, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Like
Mm-mm.
I don't think that's ever gonna kind of happen. So
Let's see here. DFE says they already have the next shiny for people to push. It's Bo-Katan. Yeah, but it's a legend character. I'm sure it'll be for something. But I mean, I'll work on it after Leia. But I'm going to round out my Phoenix after Leia. I'm not going to get those characters right away. I'm not going to do the 330 pack. So I'll get
yeah, I
Bo at the
mean,
beginning of the
well,
year like I
and
did last year with Afro. You know.
yeah, and honestly, it's hard to when CG does these things of like, oh, these things are going to rival, these characters with their Datacron and everything else that's coming up and da 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 da. It's always hard to buy in because it's like they beat certain things or if they're just not like adding anything to your arsenal, there's no reason to heavily invest into it. So
Yeah. They're saying if you get them all up and running and relic, and you get the Datacron and Omicrons, they can rival GLs. I'm like, I'm
if
not falling
you
for that trap again.
if you R9 all your stuff, you will
If
be able
you
to.
spend a fortune, you too can kick the shit out of anything. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah. Stopper says, so I'm going to be working more GAC as well as executor. Would getting the Sith trio be worth getting up with the Omicron as a defensive team? As a defensive team in certain circumstances, yeah, but it's more of an offensive
Well,
team.
the defensive team only works with Savage. You got to
Right.
have the Savage
And even
Omicron
then, it's not.
and the Trey Omicron for that then to be good. And it can be annoying depending on where you are at inside of GAC for what people have as an option to deal with it. But it's one of those things where it's like you need to prioritize it in a fashion that benefits your roster overall. So like if you don't
Yeah.
have what's his nuts Savage in a usable place, then it's like the Trey team can backburner pretty hard. There's no real reason to keep it or get it going until you can get Savage up because
Right.
they all need high relics. Honestly,
Yeah.
Trey wants
Relic
to be
5 or higher.
R7
Yeah.
and if you're not pushing that relic level, she really starts to underperform because she needs those max health stat increases. So
Well, there you go, Sopper. You got your answer to your question.
yeah, yeah.
Keep it for offense. Keep it for offense, baby.
Without Savage, Treya is just really lackluster on defense because you need the combo.
All right. Chris Paul, welcome. Says question, what's the best way to request quality of life improvements from Capital Gains? As a guild leader, I want the ability to set up commands based on guild event phase so I don't have to be at work when phase shifts. Don't they have that for hot utils? Don't you use that, Karth?
Yeah, they
Because you set that up ahead of time and then it just automatically,
Yeah, you can hot utils has a function where you can set all your like verbal commands and then the focus and stuff, all of that preemptively. and then you can then just adjust as needed. But you can, when your phase 1 load, when TB goes live, you can load the entire board with your commands, and then as things roll out, so that way you're not to do everything. But it depends on how much you have to micromanage your TB, because mine's a little less involved.
Yeah.
I know some guilds where they're a lot closer to getting things done, where you have to have very specific, preloads, and everyone has to be involved, and that's a little bit more of a harder
But
time.
CG themselves, where can you put? Where do you put those? There's question section in the forums or something like that, right? I don't know if it's in general or
I don't remember.
feedback. It's just check on the forums. There's a place you can put that in there, and
I
they
think
look at that.
I think there's somewhere on the forums you can go back and start some of that stuff. But
I'm sure it's already been brought to their attention. You can just add your thoughts to something that's already been posted on there. But I don't remember specifically because I don't do a lot of that, Chris Paul. When I do feedback, it's literally to their face. They come on here and we tell Meathead and Crumb, God bless them, what we think. They take it like champs. Good guys. Oh, what else? Another question. When Beskar Gideon is unlocked, what does it look like the Imp Remnant team will be? Well, I don't know. Him.
I mean,
Scout
the
Trooper.
five that are there,
Yeah.
it'll be Gideon, Scout Trooper, Stormtrooper, and Death Trooper.
Yeah.
That'll be the team, unless with the Bo-Katan event they release more Remnant characters. Like,
Yeah.
I would lose my ever loving mind if the Praetorian Guard showed up,
or those new Beskar troopers too.
yeah,
Those two, both those in the game.
Well, those were actually Mark II. I think they were Mark II Dark Troopers. That's what they were supposed to be, at least. And
yeah,
they're not. Even though they look like ISCs, they were supposed to be like Mark II Dark Troopers.
They were nice.
But that's an option where they could do that and cycle that out, because that's the thing I've been hammering on CG since the dawn of time. It's like you've slaved Krennic and Death Trooper together, yet you keep pulling Death Trooper to so many teams that Krennic can't show up on.
Yeah.
So it's like, at what point do you change his unique, or do you change the tags on Krennic? One of the two.
Give him
I just need one of the two.
Maximus question: do you think we will get a TW overhaul this year? This year, no. Maybe next year. They gotta do something with TB. It is stale as bread can be, man. Oh my god.
TW, yeah.
I don't give a shit about TW anymore. I put down the teams that you guys tell me to, and then I go in and do my offense. But honestly, I've said this before: if we win, great, yay. If we don't win,
we usually have such low turnout.
Yeah, ours is optional. Yeah,
we fight the handicapped kids quite frequently, to be honest.
Yeah, but even then, I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I've skipped a couple weekends here recently because it's like, I got stuff to do, so why even bother? I mean, it is important to do because that the Datacron material does help, especially the reroll materials. But you do one TW, you're good. Sopper question: if I Relic Geo since I can't be asked and want to auto the mission, would it be worth it? No. Don't bother with Geos until you have nothing else to work on. Don't get me wrong, Geos are nice.
What mission?
I guess for TB, I'm assuming is what he means.
Are we talking about the Watt mission, or are we talking about the Geo mission on Geonosis?
We're talking about specifically their Sopper.
Because the Watt. I mean, sure, if your guild still needs it, but I mean,
not really.
Relic Geos
I had a couple of Relic Geos in Gear 12 on the rest, and I still beat that easily. So yeah, don't do that. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
If you just need to press upgrade buttons, find more meta teams.
There's more metas, yeah. I can think of a few. Yeah, I can think of quite a few actually. Evo says my entire guild chat is full of Reva upgrades. It's so funny. Yes, and if you need help with the Reva mission, I've got the video out. It's got thousands of views on it. A lot more than that, but it will really help you out. I never lost the Reva mission. Even with the changes, I still don't use Reva in that mission, and I demonstrate it all the time.
I feel like it's almost worse if you do use her.
It is actually worse because I did test that out. It's just the way it plays. So yeah, don't just watch the video, mod it correctly, Get the turn order right, and you'll have no problem. There are 6 Imperial Remnants with bag, though. Well, someone's going to get the bag because they're going to be
Well,
sitting on the
yeah, but
sidelines.
they already said that Dark Trooper is staying with Veers and Piet. They
Yeah.
already said that. That's why they wanted Scout Trooper in there. Was something to push Dark Trooper out, but then Scout Trooper now gives the basically the same thing Piet did, which was the Emperor's Trap buff. So Mary J, get the hell out of here.
Get out of here, Mary J. Already talking shit. He says, and I've arrived with fresh dad jokes. You may, but myself or Carth, whoever gets to you first, will time you out. And on YouTube, that's a 10-minute timeout minimum. So you may play with fire all you want. Mary J. Let's see here. Maximus question. CG should make Arena great again. Why can't CG put relic materials or Zetas in there for rewards so people play it?
I think the whole point was to try to get people away from having to be slaved to specific time zone, like to specific times for their payouts and rewards. That's the main reason why they wanted to transition away from it, and they also wanted to reward players that invested more deeply into their roster, players that didn't only chase the meta team so that they could stay current in arena. When the crystal shift happened to GAC, then there was a massive shift into what they could do because they don't have 800 teams anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dark Trooper. It says half a bag's kit literally doesn't work if Dark Trooper is in it. Yeah, we'll get some more tunes, guys. Just they're going to fill this stuff out. So yeah, sucks for Iden. But we'll see what more. There's so many new characters they can bring in and stuff. I'm not putting Dark Trooper on there.
I mean, I don't know why you would.
Mary J's just trolling, man. He's trying to get a rise. It's what he does.
Mary J just likes to lock in on one specific thing and then ride that pony straight to hell.
Ride it, my saddle.
Exactly.
Mary J trolling. Jump on it. Yeah, I know I'm an evil guy too, but we got to make sense for the homies and stuff out there. We can't just be throwing random shit out there, Mary J. That's true. They are very split. We need more.
Well, we need at least one more trooper so that Iden has somebody to play with.
Yeah. Or for the new team, so we're not pulling from her team. You know what I'm saying? We need some more of this stuff.
Well, they're just giving Iden they're giving Iden worse and worse members. Like that's the thing that annoys me. Is like yeah, Snow Trooper's not bad. Magma Trooper's not bad. Magma Trooper is actually pretty phenomenal under Iden at higher relics. The offense scaling is ridiculous, and the turn meter generation is really nice. But it's like everything else is like you don't have the cleanse anymore with Death Trooper going away. You don't get Scout's going to help with some of the other stuff that you need, but it's like I want more Imperial Troopers. Or I want another Empire lead that's going to be kind of fun to play with.
Yeah, I agree. We just have to be patient.
Yeah, who cares? Who's putting Iden on defense, Mary J? You don't do that.
That's bad. Yeah. And she's so awesome on offense right now, especially with the Datacron. We've been doing some good work with her in 3s and 5s. It's like, oh, I've got this Iden Datacron. Let's see what this does. Rake. So, Sopper question. I think Heir to the Emperor throne will come to the game. Will he have his own capital ship or not? Oh, I could definitely see them if they bring him into the game. Around the corner, not too far away, would be that cap, which would be awesome to see in game. That beat up ship in the game that with the gold and stuff. Hell yeah, baby! I would be happy for it.
I mean, there is a strong likelihood that the next set of GLs is Thrawn and Ahsoka. Like a strong likelihood. I think Thrawn would be the first one because we would do Darkseid first, and that gives us more time to hopefully get some other content for Ahsoka to kind of round out what's going on there. But But yeah, I would say it's a strong possibility. There's really nothing else thematic that's come out since basically season 3 of Mando
Yeah.
and Ahsoka. So, and that's relatively tied together. So I could see that being CG's next, 9 months
Yeah.
of marketing. So
Well, we know that this season 3 of Mando with all the characters for the new boat team will be this holiday season, right? It's the holiday season. Do do do.
I mean, it's gonna
Santa
be
Claus.
like Christmas. Yeah, it's gonna be late because if
Oh
at this
yeah.
point right now, if they want the characters to be farmable prior, they need to start dumping characters left, right, and center, and then accelerating their release schedules to 3 weeks in shipments and 3 weeks into farmable.
Well, the two new GLs routes that they can go. Ahsoka Thrawn definitely up there, right? The other one
Yeah.
that everyone really wants is True Revan, which was in the works many years ago. I know this because I had CG Carry on when I was interviewing her, and she brushed my soul when she said that was the next step was True Revan, and we put it on the back burner. And I was like,
How
why?
dare, how
How?
dare you?
You said you would destroy the Sith, not join them. Why? But yeah, so I think those are high possibilities. But both those, I wouldn't shock me if we got True Revan, or they went the Ahsoka Thrawn route. I wouldn't be upset with either. I like all those characters. So yeah,
Yeah, CG's mantra has just been to staying closer to whatever is being thematically released. They want to stay relatively tied to that because it draws a lot of interest from other fan bases, right? So people who were like really into Jedi Fallen Order, seeing Cal Kestis come to the game and all the characters kind of got excited and invested into those things. And kind of the same thing with Mandalorian. Some people are just diehard Mandalorian fans. They love the show, and so they just Paz Vizsla comes out, and day one they're just like 7-star, Gear 13, Relic 9, all the Zetas, Omicron be damned, it's going on there.
yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Mary Ju says, "You think CG already made the kit for the new Revan? Is it just waiting to push it through?" Possibly. So I'll give you a little bit of guys' background on CG and how they operate, from what I know, and a little bit of how the sausage is made over there. They have a giant board that has all the characters, release dates, notes, things that have to happen for those. So as the board gets updated, stuff changes, but it's usually minimum. If they're fast tracking 6 to 9 months, usually a year, that they'll have something out. But you got to think, and Karth, you said this, it has to make sense for one. Like the
Yeah.
character can come into the game, but how are they going to implement it with their teams and everything like that? So you have concept, early design. Then once they have the go for it, then they have a date
I
that they'll
mean,
set, and in between is all this other shit that goes on to get that character to that point. There will be a hard drop date that is somewhat flexible, but they're going to have that drop date for each
well,
of the
and
quarters.
not everything is always makes the final product.
No,
It was like what 2 years ago when Sig and Barbarossa came up with those super old assets for the original Phoenix
yeah,
launch, and like Agent Callus was in there. There were a couple of other Empire characters that were a part of that. There were models at the time for the Inquisitors in the game, and then they didn't show up for 3 years later. So it's like there's a lot of things where it's like stuff gets in concept, but it never gets fully released because it doesn't have a place yet. And
yeah,
that's always kind of like where things sit, is like, is there a place? And with how the game works right now, so much of what you need is to be able to frame in a squad that doesn't bleed over very much, because like having plug and play faction viability is super detrimental to how the game works.
yeah. So once it goes into concept, once it's finally approved, then it really gets on the board. And okay, what more needs to be done? What's the release date? When do we want to do it with what we already have? And so that's kind of how you see how that goes. But yeah, stuff can get taken off or pushed back or things changed, but they do it well in advance. It's not like they just suddenly go, Revan, race this, put this here, forget everything we just did. I mean, that's super rare. They try to be long term, short term first, long term afterwards. So you have to think about it like that. And as much as we shit on them about their testing, and you should, there's a lot that goes into creating these characters, from concept design, creating the character with pixels, the kits, all that stuff. So just coming up with that stuff takes a heartbeat of time. And so yeah, so there you go. Darth Bane would be great, Maximus. Zana and Bane in the game would make my nipples hard. So yes. Chris Paul, we need an Armored Core like Mando game with missions and armor and weapons swapping. We need another Star Wars Galaxies is what we need.
What we need is a different game entirely. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that inside of.
Oh yeah, if we get a badass game card, you and me, we're gonna be frolicking through the woods, holding hands, going la 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 la, la as we hippity hop over to the new game.
Oh my God! Somebody,
Battlefront 3 boss, fuck yeah, dude, let's go. You, me, Karth, let's go, baby. I'll play the shit out of a Battlefront. Oh God.
Somebody made a Mandalorian short film with AI, and it's actually pretty legit. Like it's a full on like. It feels like it's a replica of the old Republic era Mandalorian fights, where they're actually like enough of them to actually have ground battles, and so it's like, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
You have to link me that. I haven't seen that one. That'd be cool.
I'll have to go find it again.
But yeah, well, if they ever, we're waiting for the next big Star Wars game. I mean, and if it's huge, man, trust me, we'll be a part of it. I mean, I played this shit out of Battlefront 1 and 2 when it was on, then it died. It's still active, but it's nowhere near where it was at its height. And I was playing that. You can go back. I've got hours streaming on that shit. You know, with me,
Dice pulled the support out of the game.
Yeah,
I don't know if Dice did specifically, but they were
something happened. Yeah, so and that's a shame. But we haven't had a major Star Wars game release. I mean, yes, Survivor and Fallen Order, but those are RPGs.
They're different though.
Yeah, they're different. You know, they're console games. Don't get me wrong, they're fantastic, but they're different. It's not like a immersive world or an MMORPG like the Old Republic. And we tried, God bless us, Karth, we tried to play the Old Republic. That game, as much as I love it, hate it too, because it is so buggy and so fucked up. I mean, it's really bad because we were trying to do stuff and we would have fun, but we would get bogged down for 45 minutes because of some bug. It was crazy. You know, it's like you can't really enjoy the game.
Well, yeah, it's like getting through an entire like mission critical story flashpoint, and then like the button at the end doesn't work, and so you can't
complete it. Yeah.
Can't complete it. So you're just like, oh, well, I guess I'm just going to not be a part of this for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah. It was just, and it's unfortunate because we were having a lot of fun, but it just, you know, as much fun as we were having, the frustration with that game, and it's kind of wore us out, you know, because it was me, Ram, and Karth, and Contingent was playing, and we were having a lot of fun, but it just, I don't know. Sopper says maybe the Old Republic MMORPG, but instead an Empire Clone Wars era or other eras. I don't want to get into any of the recent eras. I would like to see something completely different. Just give me a whole new.
My God, right? Just anywhere else.
Something else.
Anywhere else. Just go anywhere else.
We've done the Old Republic. We've done the Clone Wars. We've done all the current stuff. Let's go somewhere outside of that.
I don't mind Old Republic because there's still lots of things that you can kind of, because like they never explore.
There's many thousand years we don't explore in that game.
Well, but there's just like we get a glimpse of the Mandalorian Wars, but we don't really see how that plays out. We don't see the beginnings of Revan's crusade against the Republic and the Jedi Civil War. We see the tail end of that. There are lots of areas they could go into that would be
great hyperspace war where Sith used to use swords. That would be dope. Go all the way back to the beginning with the Jedi. That would be sick as hell too.
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities.
There's so many things to do, and our saturation level with what's currently out there is just infuriating, because it's just like it starts to like break immersion for me when it's like you have all these powerful characters all at the same time, all in the same area, and it's like, and we still just can't seem to get our heads out of our butts. It's like, oh, okay. Guess that has to move the plot forward somehow. So here we go.
Yeah. All right, continue getting your questions in. Stop what you're doing. If you like the content, stop what you're doing right now. Hit the thumbs up, guys. It really does help the content. So it's an interaction, and it does help with the algorithm. So please do that. If you have a question, again, put your question into the chat. Make sure you put the word question for your actual question comment. If you really like the content, then hit subscribe. Also, check out our latest lore video after this. If you need some more RSG you know, need another hit of the RSG, but go check out the little video with idiots. I think you'll really enjoy this one. And then upcoming events. October 31st, I will be streaming Halloween. Carth, you're more than welcome. Come hang out that day. I don't know what you and the wifey are doing, but I'm going to be in the full Mando costume streaming. We're going to have Desi and Finn and whoever else wants to join us on that stream. It's going to be like a 3.5 hour, 4 hour stream starting at 6 Eastern, 5 Central. So, Carth, Halloween, come hang out. You're not doing anything. And I will be, and the reason we'll have co-hosts is because I will not be able to hear and or speak to you guys during that because I'll be outside in the costume. But the kids, we gotta bring candy and happiness to the kids. I'm gonna have the full costume. I'm actually working on the rifle right now, which is like putting Legos together. It's really bad, but you know, it is what it is. Um, but we'll get all that fun stuff in for you guys, and I'm gonna try to get the rifle painted. I'll just have it on display for the display I'm gonna have, but I'm not gonna be holding it or anything. So, but I will get the rifle put together, painted, looking pretty. It'll be very pretty for you guys. And then what else? February 1st to the 4th in Orlando, Florida, we are getting a skewer get together. If you would like to join us down there, again, I'll be in the full costume. We will be doing MegaCon and other events down there as we wrap up our 2023 ACS campaign for the charity. We will have an upcoming event for the ACS coming up soon. But we'll be down there. So if you want to come join us, we have a channel dedicated to that in Discord. So if you'd like to join us for that, please join the Discord, tag Finn. You can get all the information there. So there you go. Dark Side, Canderous Mandalore could be added. Oh, that was fun. Okay, yeah.
I mean, again, this you get to a saturation point, right?
Yeah.
Like, where do you draw lines?
The line must be drawn here. Here and no further. So now, if you guys have questions, get them in. We'll go for a little bit while longer. As long as you guys are active and asking questions, we'll keep going. If not, then we'll end the stream a little early. I did do GAC last night. Went very well. One shot full clear everything there, Karth. And
Nice.
he got stuck on quite a few of my teams. So yeah. And this week will be nice because I'll unlock Leia, get her started. Anything else? No, I think that's it for right now. So get your questions in. That me and Karth are just hanging out, drinking coffee, hanging out with you guys, drinking the coffee. I just realized I needed to get some more tea. I didn't grab more tea. That sucks. How do you like the drop rate? Says DFE. I'm totally creaming my jarts. They've been tremendous, like me. Tremendous. I'm already on my way to 7 stars. So we got what till the 23rd, Tuesday?
Yeah, you got 2 more days of
Yeah.
refreshes.
So if I get 30 to 40 each day, boom. They should add Force Ghost Han. Sure.
Listen,
Um,
if they were going to add a different variation of Han to the game, it should have been
Dark side.
Carbonite Han.
Frozen. Joey. My opponent got stuck on my Malga's Assassin Marauder team. I was quite surprised, but yeah, I had a hold with Malga, so I was like, "What?" And they used Jedi Cal. I was like, "What the fuck happened there?" I assume they did. They had Jedi Cal. So, how many bonus Zetas have you gotten? I think I've gotten a few, but I'm not really worried about that. I'm all in on Drogon and the Karatex out of. I mean, I'm not like Karth. I'm Zeta poor. I have a shit ton of Zetas. Karth knows this.
Rude, but
Well,
fair.
just facts. I mean, you got me on everything else. Well, not mods either. But so mods and Zetas, I can give Karth a bad time about. Other than that, he shits all over me. So I have to take my wins when I can. But yeah, I'm mainly focused on Drogon drops and the Kyrotix out of Cantina because I need signal data anyway. So I'm getting doubles for everything right now. So it's really nice. I think the drop rates. I mean, I got a 16 card the other day on the first day. I was like, oh,
Well, that's
holy
nice.
shit! I was like, wow. That was creamy, Carl. I'm not gonna lie. That gave me rekindled joy and happiness and hope in this game. Because that was the thing I was talking about before this came out because we hadn't released Drogon. I'm like, let's see how the drop rates are first. I am over the moon with the drop rates right now. They're very good. What else in 3 says I've gotten 2 full Zeta so far. The nice, very nice. Hey, the man with the best fro in the business, Tom Blow Your Eyes says, hello there, Ranger, Karth, and Skewer. Skull, y'all, skull, me matey, her. Happiness. Happiness. Super, super duper happy. Yeah, as soon as I get done with this stream, Karth, I'm going to do like I always do. I'm going to go sit my ass over there in my little station and be gluing and watching sports ball. And
Sports ball. The
yeah,
best sport is the
yeah,
one with the ball.
that's true. That's very true. So yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys. If not, we'll end a little early. That's fine. Get you guys, drink your coffee, grab your croissants, do all that stuff. And then yeah, week from Tuesday we'll do the Halloween stream. I'll be in full giddy up and full display, and we'll stream it for you guys. We'll have a lot of fun on Halloween, and then we'll get into the holiday season. My favorite time of the year. I love Thanksgiving and Christmas. Christmas is my favorite. And yes, skewers, I get asked this all the time. I have an Amazon wish list. People like to get that shit for me for either my birthday or for Christmas. If you want the link, I'll link it to you. That's why I created. That's why you guys made me create that shit. I put a bunch of Black Series figures on there. You guys are animals. I really fought that for a long time, and I lost that fight. So there you go. No, Ranger, we're gonna get you nice stuff, and you're gonna like it, but I don't really need it. Yeah, shut up, Ranger! It's like Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll put the goddamn list up.
Right?
You will get nice shit and you will like it. Okay, chill. All right, I got it.
How many bonuses have I gotten? On my main, I average like 15 a day doing the 1050 like going through the 200s on the refreshes. So, and then I started with a 1 day's preload. So I've done that 3 times. So I'm probably somewhere around 45 Zetas
Good.
so far. So 2 Zetas.
Pretty. You can
And
keep
some
every
change,
average,
and
you
I'll
end up with 90. Yeah,
probably get about 2 more.
Yeah. Oh, Desi Noodle Snarfy Snarfs here says, good morning. Good morning, Desi Snarfy Snarf. Stopper says, Carthrick, how is work?
Busy.
Yeah. It's starting to wind down. You slow down a little bit this time of year, right? Or is it
Yeah, we got a couple of other projects that are still going on, so it'll be about another month before I have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, perfect time for the holiday season. Doop dee doo. Santa Claus. Doop dee doo. We have Desi Snarf in the chat. You better watch your behavior because she's known to ban Karth. She has done it before by Boo Boo, but she will do it.
She does like to swing the ban hammer.
She does, yeah. Ray Rock says, good morning, Desi. Are you in the Tennessee with the battalion crew? No, I don't think she is. But I think because she was hanging out with me last night. But everybody else is. The entire swath of the Vegas homies are now in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, I believe. So, yeah. Desi says, I opened the stream and I heard Carr say sports ball. Yeah, I had him repeat.
That was a joke.
Let's see here. Darkseid says, question: what characters are left that are GL worthy? Well, quite a lot, actually. We go down the
It just
list.
depends on like where do you want to go. Like out of the thematic like movies that have been released, there's not a ton of options left. Because the stories are so narrow.
Yeah.
And you already have like every main character as a GL, so it's like, do you just start making characters GLs for funsies or what? So it's like, for me, it's more about what factions need a GL.
And their epicness. The character's got to have epic status. Like Vitiate is a GL, right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're not going to argue with me on that one. Bane is a GL worthy character. You know, I mean, you can argue with me all you want, but the guy is legit. The new versions of Ahsoka and Thrawn are GL worthy in my opinion. They're only going to get more story and status as we continue along, and their status is going to go up higher and higher with their abilities and forces and stuff that they do. And you go throughout the history of the EU and the Legend stuff. God damn, dude, there's so many characters that are GL worthy that are at that level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could do Valkorian and make the 4 Marquis the family, and there's another GL, you know? I mean, I can go down the list.
Yeah, which, I mean, yeah, it'd be really cool actually to have Arc.
That's actually a good one. Sopper says, would a World Between Worlds Anakin be GL worthy? I think we need some more with him, but absolutely.
No,
if we, I did caveat, Karth. I said if we get some more with him, he could be GL worthy.
But it's
Jar Jar, get that shit out of here.
It's Force Ghost Anakin. That's all it is in the World Between Worlds. It's not a physical appearance of him.
Yeah, we need more.
It's
We need
it would
more.
it would and another version of Anakin. I don't think it's going to happen. We already
No.
have Lord Vader. We have General Skywalker. We have Jedi Knight Anakin. Like
Yeah,
if
Darth
we did
Schmader.
like the only thing I would want to see is like Padawan Anakin, and then have his kit replace Jedi Knight Anakin's under Padme. But like that's the only thing I could see being useful for what we got going on. Like yeah, I would have a hard time with that. But if they went into like some of the early like hyperspace war stuff, there's a lot of things in that era that they could pull from that would be GL worthy. But for me, I think it's more about factions that I would want to see. I would like to see some of the other fringe factions kind of get some support and some love. So that's where more I would want to see more than just like naming a character.
Yep. Carl says, question, who do you consider to be the most essential tunes to get to Relic 9? All characters, not just GLs. Okay, we can skip GLs because those are pretty much, although not all the GLs are built the same for Relic 9, right? So you have to be smart about that. I think Vader, definitely Relic 9. Jabba deserves a Relic 9. That number one is JML. Those three do very well. GL Leia, of course, because she's the tank, of course. I always go priority Karth with Relic 9s because I don't have as many as you, but it's always tank and do they have a ship? Because those you get a lot of bang for your buck, whether it's Malgus, Bosk. They get some good value out of that shit with Relic 9s. Outside of that, I'm being very frugal with Relic 9s. Give some insight here to Karth and what you think. You get way more than I do.
Well, I mean, the short answer for Relic Nines is all about like what is the purpose of the character in the team, and it's just like when you have pivotal tanks like Malgus, who is like the way his kit is set up is to just help him be a monster, then like
Oh, monster.
he's a very good R9 to have because he's a very powerful character. And you know, characters that have like Crew's a very powerful R9 to have because of his unique that helps
And he's got a ship.
he's got a ship. But there's a lot of stuff like that. Oh, that's right. I'm failing at doing officer duties.
Oh, I
Um
see that. Yeah.
my bad. I'm trying to rate on both accounts. It's not going well.
Oh,
um anyways, R9s are basically come down to like what is the tank that you're going to choose to upgrade for your squad, is that going to be vital to what's happening? And if the answer is yes, then it's a worthwhile investment. If the answer is no, then you know just leave them at R7. And then when it comes to ship pilots, it's very minimal on which ones have massive effects, because there's certain characters at certain relic levels that help you outspeed, like getting Plo Koon to R9 helps you counter some of the Executor lineups. Getting IG 2000 or IG 88 to Relic 9 is a very helpful for the triple attacker lineup with the Executor. But it's again one of those things where like the benefit is just so minute where it's really hard to be like, yeah, you should definitely do it. Like it most, and that's the reason why most people don't invest into Relic Nines. Just the overall on them is that their return on investment is pretty low.
yeah. Well, Alibaba and them 40 reps says, could we have a Yoda GL? No. That ship is sailed. Same thing like Darth Vader. That ship is sailed. So, I mean, the only version of Yoda we don't have is Force Ghost Yoda from the sequel trilogy, and I still think he's going to be a lifter character for JML one day. I don't see them getting no GL Yoda. No, no. Hey, he's pretty fly for a white 425. Says, interesting they chose PKK for a legendary confrontation. Mando GL still a possibility? No.
I mean,
I mean, the
Beskar
only one,
Mando,
maybe,
maybe.
yeah, possibly. Maybe they pull something from the ledge like Mandalore the Ultimate's kind of cool thing to do. But outside of that, I don't think the chances are high there, Karth.
I mean, I wouldn't like get excited about it.
Yeah. Oh,
I
Yoda's ship is definitely a possibility, but him being a GL version, we're not getting one. I can't. There's just no version that we can go with. We've got Hermit Yoda. We got badass Yoda. I mean, we can get Force Ghost Yoda, but I don't think he's going to be GL card. I mean, there's not many routes they can go with Yoda, especially GL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's too late for those characters. It's the reason why the GL version of Vader is not Darth Vader, which it clearly ought to have been, right? It's why we got Lord Vader, because Darth Vader was one of the first characters in the game, and then we already have Grandmaster Yoda. What other version of Yoda do you bring into the game that is worthy of a GL?
What
And
about
so, like,
he says High Republic Yoda? No.
I mean,
It's a possibility, but no.
it's not even that. I mean, for Yoda's lifetime, it's not even that far. It would be more towards the pinnacle of his power, sure. But again, what does he lead? You already have a GR Jedi Galactic Legend. How do you caveat that to make that team not
Yeah.
bananas with what is currently out in the game? Yeah, there's just a lot of things I don't think it's gonna.
As a character, yeah, there's some versions like we just mentioned, but not GL status for Yoda. No, I'm sorry, Evo. I mean, I'm sorry to poo poo on your dream there, but no. And Sopper, you have a great dinner, my friend. Says have a good rest of the stream. Got to go for dinner. Dinner, yes.
God, I hope so, because that's got to be far enough
Could be in
ahead for
Japan.
that.
I don't know. Fuck.
It's fair.
Once the movie comes out, I could see Mando being a GL. Maybe all depends on what happens. Yeah, Mando's still not quite GL status for me, as much as I love him.
He's a fun character, but
Yeah.
like he needs to be more pivotal to like events in the galaxy, and we season 3 of Mandalorian like started to scratch that itch, right? Like we are dealing with an imperial power base.
Yeah.
That's starting to have an impact on the galaxy. Up until this point, he has not done anything that I would say is monumental to the galaxies or galaxy ripples, which is like I think the kind of where CG gets on a lot of those characters, like how impactful on the galaxy as a whole was the Galactic Legend, and then that's kind of where they draw the power count lines.
Paul Bracamonte says, Ranger, you're looking slim in the cheeks, bro. Good job. Thank you. When you lose 75, 80 pounds, that happens. I mean, that's, the way it works. Still got a few more pounds I'm trying to cut before this Halloween stream. Getting down to 180 is being torture, Karth, but I'm doing it. And that's why I'm drinking my delicious diet ginseng tea and honey tea.
Delicious.
Mm.
It sounds wonderful.
But I cut out carbs, I cut out soda, cut out all that shit. I work out religiously. I even have my six-pack back, Paul Bracamonte. It's really been really nice. Yeah. But when you work out 5 days a week and everything else, yeah, they tend to happen. So another 5-10 pounds, I'll be at 180, and then I'll be ready to go. I can't cut out Foster's, but the reason I can burn it so fast is because, well, I don't have anything else on my diet. So these are the things you do. Again, as I said, if I was going to wear the Beskar Mando suit, I couldn't look like Dad Bod Boba Fett, as Mary J likes to call me. He's just jelly because I look like a linebacker now.
Kick his ass, Seabass.
That's right. Not Foster's if listen, don't be jelly. Power of the dark side. Maybe that's the reason I've got my six-pack back, because all I do is drink Foster's and don't eat food. That could be it,
I mean, that would do it for me.
That would work, yeah. Paul says, I completely disagree. I think they need to move towards smaller scale rebellion stories and stop trying to shove everything into the big narrative. Well, for some of the shows, yes, they have the big narrative, but like Andor is a very contained story, which I think is what you're referring to, because I adore Andor. I thought it was so good. But I like to see them. One thing I can say about Ahsoka is they really expanded the universe and stuff, and I love that. So we're getting to some new shit with Ahsoka, and I'm down for it. I'd like to see them like go into different stories altogether. That's why I'm excited about the Acolyte. Way before anything happens, I'm excited for that show just because it's a different timeline in Star Wars that has nothing to do with the bullshit that's currently going on, right? So if we can get more of those stories, I'm down, man. I don't even need the rebellion. I just need good stories that are Star Wars stories from different timelines, and that's what we need to do. Expand the universe. That's what Ahsoka did. You may not like the show. Most people did. I adored Ahsoka. But one of the things I appreciated was the expansion finally of the goddamn universe. You know, as much as I love Mandalorian, it's very still self-contained in that area. But yeah, we need more of that. We need new characters, new stories, different timelines, stuff like that. Dad
Yeah,
Bob Ranger. Yeah, Mary J's
more or
jealous because he
less, like
knows I'm
specifically
a
what I'm
dick.
referring to is the like galactic legend status for the how SWGOH treats those characters.
Yeah.
Narratively, for the overall like how Disney treats Star Wars, yes, that is what I would prefer too, is much smaller stories that don't all have to be about how this ties into the galactic conflict.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that, but I mean, I don't want an Ewok story. I mean, you just mentioned the Wookiees, great, but it better be a damn good story because if I get an Ewok story, I'm going to shit all over them. You know, we don't need that. But yeah, but if it's a good story, it's got powerful, characters and stuff like that. Yeah, expand the universe, man. I'm totally down for that. But you know, keep me interested. Keep me interested. That's all I ask. That's all I want. Man, yeah, Mary J. Jelly. Jelly of my hotness.
I mean, that tracks.
Yeah. Wookiees versus fleas. Nah, I don't think that would be something that would really pique my interest. Not quite the story arc.
No,
Yeah.
no, and
No, I don't want the yub to get nubbed. Yub. You up the nub. Dum dum dee da dee da doo doo doo. How about a Gungan story, Ranger? Please delete your account, Ray Rock. Actually, the Gungans are
uh,
facts, interesting faction, but hmm. Force sensitive fleas, Sith fleas. You give skewers just a little bit of meat there, Karthik, and they really take it to places.
it's
Meanwhile,
true.
on Kashyyyk, the Wookiee faction was facing Sith fleas.
I mean, that checks out, right? That all makes sense.
Well, we know he survives because he's in the end of the Revenge of the Sith. Evo. Now I don't know what happened to Jar Jar after that. Didn't really care. So
I mean, it doesn't matter what happens with Jar Jar after that. Like I don't mind the character Jar Jar at all. Like if they brought Gungan into the game, that'd be
we'll
fine.
deal
But
with
it
it.
would need to be a whole brand new. Like you need Boss Nass and
It's
the
like
and a lot of the supporting characters of it.
yeah,
And I think that's always been the problem with Gungans is that if they ever do it, it has to be an all or nothing approach to how this works out.
well, we got the
It,
25-year anniversary of Episode One coming out next year, Karth. It is a possibility. Finally, they bring
yeah,
Gungans in. You know.
it is a possibility. Like CG says, like we never say no that something won't come to the game, but um the odds are very small,
Yeah,
which has been their thing. And again, I wouldn't hate it, but if they did Gungans, it would have to be a full-blown faction
has to
release. And
be.
all this, it would be like Bad Batch all over again. You're going to give me 4 or 5 characters that are going to release into unlocking like Boss Nass, and then I'm going to have that character. But if you're going down the like episode 1 route, give me a freaking team back for Padme. Like I just want Padme to be a team. Give me Jedi Knight Qui-Gon. Give me Padawan Obi-Wan. Give me Padawan Anakin. I don't care. Give me her Naboo guardsmen. I don't care. Give me a Padme team that is actually not going to get separated and is viable and
Mm-hmm.
has similar mechanics to how Give Me works currently. Like give me that, and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna have
I'll
a
take
great
the
time.
I'll take the Naboo Fire Starfighter. I'll take all that shit.
I don't know what fleet they'd go under, but yeah, that'd be fun.
Captain Panaka, sure.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
I mean, we should see some Episode One stuff next year, and that'll be exciting. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of stuff that they can pull from there, and so yeah. I mean, yeah, Porkins, they said would never come to the game. I had Crumb and interviewed him on that, so yeah.
I mean, such a one-off character.
Yeah. Yeah, they can go under Mace. I'm okay with that. I mean, yeah, oh, who's the actress that played her? What's in the pirate movies? I can't think of her name. I'm going blank.
I don't know.
She was the lookalike for Padme in episode 1, and I can't. But she's been into a whole bunch of stuff. She was in the park here. Here Knightley, yeah. Okay, when I found out that little nugget, I was like, I knew she looked familiar. Like, good on you, young Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley. She's British. She's hot. Find her delicious. All right. Continue to get your questions in, comments, everything like that. Yeah. Oh, if they don't, Desi says, if they didn't bring Boss Nass and don't include the sound effect of him shaking his head, I'll be sad. Yeah. I can only do that once because I get whiplash in my neck, Karth. So that was your one Boss Nass. All right, get your questions in. Make sure you put the word question for your actual question, comment, or statement. You want to see me do a breakfast shoe? I forgot about that. I had that stream elements. Oops. Oh, God. If you get any clink clinks, that would be awful. But get your questions in. Go for a few more minutes here, Karth. Karth's drinking his coffee. Drinking my coffee.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to do officer things at the moment. Trying to finish the preload on phase 5 and tell some people not to deploy who shouldn't have just deployed and they did. So whatever.
It is what it is. The law of the
It,
land.
yeah.
Oh, we're at 30 stars. We're good. How much more GP do we need to get 7? Like 10, 15 more million? Jesus.
To get 37 stars.
Yeah.
Um so the reason I haven't done anything more to push stars for TB is because there is no point in going up 1 star. We would need to jump from like 36 to 40 to see a reasonable increase in rewards. But that requires us to be able to do phase 1 and phase 2 all in one day. So we wouldn't preload Geonosis anymore. We'd have to max Geonosis, which means we would have to have like 95% CM completion, which is gonna be really tough for our guild
I mean, I can
because
do it.
we have a hard time with 80%, let
Yeah.
alone 70, and usually we're down in the 50s. But it's one of those things where it's like it's very much like you can try really hard to push it. What's up?
Inflation. Epic fails question. They said no Porkins. He bad baby. Desi says, I'm starting to wonder if Heli got arrested again. He's been gone so long. I have no idea what's going on with Heli. That's why it's been so quiet in the chat. Maybe he's lurking and he's just had nothing but endless customer. Yes, Epic fails. Keira Knightley. Someone if Heli got arrested again. He's been, yeah, I don't know what's been going on with Heli. Usually he pops in, but could be on vacation. He could be doing stuff and things. I don't know. Heli in the last 2 Jedi Academy, so that's all right. People got real life. Real life is going on, and that's okay. We miss Heli. We'd like to see him back in here, but if he can't be here, we know why. Busy day at work, busy day stuff, so. But when Heli, he lurks a lot, so he could be there, but he's just not saying anything because he hasn't been able to, because it could just be one of those days at work. So, who knows? I hope he's all right. That he got arrested again. I didn't know he got arrested the first time, does he? Holy shit.
I mean, she's probably making an assumption there, but
Well, I
all
mean, I did
things are
file
possible.
charges the first time, but not the second time. This one's not on me. I'm kidding.
Okay.
So as Carter, so get your final questions in. We'll go for another 5-10 minutes here. We'll wrap up a little early.
Yeah, I would just like, if they're gonna do down like the Galactic Republic road, like let's build out like non-Jedi related factions.
Sure.
Like I would like to kind of see a better split between the two.
I agree.
And some better just Jedi in general, because you have so many people that are just either, I mean, like it pains me like that Plo Koon and like Kit Fisto are such weak characters in this game, but
I
they're
know. They really
relatively
need to
like
go back and fix those Jedi, man. They've been
if
shit for a long
well,
time.
they just need to. I mean, as
Their
much as
kits
I
are
don't want,
outdated. They're not
well,
very good. Yeah, just
give us a robed version of the character, kind of like how they like Lord Vader
oh
looks,
yeah.
and then just be like Jedi Master Plo Koon and Jedi Master Kit Fisto, and like change the title and then upgrade their abilities. Like, because like the
Something.
versions we got from them are their Clone Wars versions, which I mean, there's not a huge difference in power, but I don't see them like overhauling the character too much. And I think adding a new one would be all right, but we'll see what they do, I guess, long term.
All right. We'll do a final call for questions here. So wrap up early, and then I can go back to arts and crafts time. Yay!
Get back to rating.
I already did my raid stuff already, I think. Oh no, I
I
got to
know.
do the dinky teens. Let me look here. I think I did the 2 biggies, and then I got to go do. Yeah, I got to do the dinky teens. Get my points in. I already get to do 2 big ones. So all right. Skywalker Vader questions, gentlemen. Do you ever see them doing skins for characters?
Nope.
Nope.
CG has been very adamant that they will not do skins.
Too much. For them.
Very adamant.
Yeah.
Well, it's just for them, there's
Cost
no
effective,
there's no monetization in it. People would buy a skin for a character, but they'd rather just release a new character, a new version of that character.
Yeah.
Which is far more lucrative for them in the long run.
Mr.
So
Bones, Ratlin says, is it Groundhog Day again? Yes. Welcome.
for the raid, yeah. I try to get mine done in the mornings now, and so I'll do one account like the day after the raid goes live in the morning, and then I'll do the other one the next day, and that kind of makes it seem a little less painful. But with TB going on, I get distracted quite easily, and I forget that I should be doing stuff. So I have to remind myself to oh right.
Let's do stuff and things.
Well, because I got a lot of runs to get in, and some of them are a little RNG heavy. So
Well, yeah, especially the Maul fight. Christ.
that one's fun, though. To be honest, that one's fun.
It's frustrating because like I get right there, I'm like I can either get because usually now I'm just
Oh
like
yeah.
if I get 1.7, I'm like I'll fucking make it up with the Revan team because I'm just like I can't be bothered.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I was thinking about the full Dark Side Maul Mando team. You're talking about the other run. Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a critical point in the second spit where it fails.
Yeah.
So it's like if they eat Maul, you lose them, and I'm like the whole run's gone. It's like,
Yeah.
and that's like 4 minutes into the fight. So that one does suck. Yeah. The other one is just like it's just a sprint to like who gets dazed at the beginning, and then just a full on just DPS burning monster.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the lovely Kaya is joining us. Hey, long time no see, Kaya. Glad to have you here. So this question: do you hope the next raid is easier to do? Yeah.
All I'm hoping is that the next raid is the same amount of attempts than the same amount of like points. That's all I'm hoping for when it comes to the next raid. I don't really like I was talking with Scribe about this. I don't want them to increase the amount of time between raids and then turn around and increase the number of attempts that we have to do. But I feel like the number of attempts will be higher because as far as we understand right now, most of this is supposed to be a 3v3 setup. So it's like, okay, well that's cool. I don't want to do more battles unless they're easier. Unless they're like,
but we're gonna have a
hey,
week between raids with more wars on that. Too bothered if it's a little bit more difficult, but yeah.
I mean, but for me at that point, if they're gonna do the rewards every 3 days, like the raid finishes in 3 days, I think they should just go 6 and 6. The raid launches it, the raid is live for 6, and then you get your payout, and then you go back to the raid being live again. Because it's like, what's the 3 days difference? You're not gonna miss the rewards. You just change which day of the week you get them, and it doesn't change anything about how much you just have more time to do it. You have 6 days now to do your raid fights instead of 3. So like, I feel like that would be more in my head a better way to run it, but that's not me.
I blame Finn. BD question: is the new Gideon an actual Lord Vader lifter, or is he a lifter like Malicos? Thanks and have a great weekend.
I mean, he will lift Lord Vader because you're giving Maul a revive. that didn't exist before. So that's very helpful for him. But for the rest of the team, it's hard to say because Gideon's sacrificing mechanic, if he's not a stupid thick tank like Royal Guard is or something like that, him having the sacrifice triggers are going to make it kind of easier depending on what happens against the team, because you can just go kill him and then get a 1 in 3 chance of killing a non-GL character. So it's like you basically you can just keep wailing on him. So if you, especially with like healing immunity, anything like that is going to be a big lockdown for that. So he will help. I won't argue that point, but I don't know long term if that's where you're going to want to put him all the time.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Is the CG charity stream today, right?
No, 24th.
24th.
Tuesday. It'll be in just a couple more days. I'm really hoping that CG is planning on doing their road ahead live or some raid testing live.
Yeah, I would like to see it. I think they just need to do more of that stuff. I don't know why they don't. They should listen to me, Karth. I don't know why they don't listen to me about this shit.
Well, yeah.
I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb.
Yeah, I've had some talks with Meathead on some of the things that they're doing, and I'm just like, I get where you guys kind of get close vested here, but you need to open the door a little bit because it gets player buy-in, and once you have player buy-in, they keep showing up.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you look at so the pack they're selling for the charity, right? The $20 pack to get you, if you're already have Cal and Leia, there's less value there. But the relic materials are still worth the $25 that they're putting in there. That was a great incentive to help their donations, because people in the community are getting a kind of a reward out of it. Because like last year, and I told them this outright, for raising 25 grand or whatever it was last year, like the rewards were kind of really disappointing.
They really were
for a lot of the people. And I'm like, I don't know who is so stingy back at your headquarters that you don't just drop things around like that. Like, I think the reward pack should be great, especially if you're getting your community of your game to donate 40 grand to something. Man, it's just like, who's going to care if you throw 10 Zeta mats out and 10 droid brains and 10 Gerda key? No one's going to care. Like, just make the rewards, like, make the buy-in seem worth it. Make it seem like showing up the concert and buying the ticket was worth your time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, so we've had some conversations about that. I'm just like, you need to get people to appreciate more of what you're doing. And part of that is just going to be, hey, if you donate to this, you get this.
Yep.
And it's working really well for them right now.
It's working. It's working. Yes, we talked about the drops. Kaya, they have been awesome. They've been really good. I've been getting a lot of Drogon, and I likes that about it.
Basically, as long as you're not farming Kinesa and you're not farming Rex, because those two have been fairly piss poor drop rates, comparatively speaking, because the what is it? It's you're only allowed to do it on the hard nodes, and so it's like you have to do, even if you do like 10 battles, you still only get like 2 to 3 shards per pull for the most part that I've seen. So it's like you're still getting like 20 to 30, but like I feel like Drogon and Scout, if you're doing like up to the same amount of refreshes or higher, like the drop rate feels like it's like 40 to 50. It feels much higher.
And I blame Finn.
I do too.
Hey, Dilly Dilly, Nathan H. Dilly Dilly. Dilly Dilly. Doing my dollar run as we speak. They're Carthaginian kind of guy,
Oh, Ray Rock, there are so many things I would change about how CG runs their shenanigans if I was to be anywhere near that company.
Oh yeah, we talked about if I was in charge, what would I do? I listed it out. I'm not gonna get into that again, but yeah.
It's just one of those things, man. It's just like they are in their little world. They're gonna stay there. Um, and that's fine. I can't tell you how to
I
do
can't give you
better.
enlightenment. I can only put you on the path.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh,
Poo poo head.
you know,
Not you, sorry.
no, I
Maul
am.
got
That's fine.
stunned. Maul got stunned right up the rip on my
Oh yeah, that's
Mandalorian
an
fight.
automatic start over. Yeah, that's a start
Yeah,
over.
it's like, oh, okay, well
Yeah.
that's cool. Thank you.
Guess you don't want me to have nice shit. It's fine. Someone must have arrived because Buddy's upstairs going bananas. Bananas, bananas. All right, final call for questions stuff. Gonna start wrapping it up. Glad to have you guys here. Again, go check out the lore video afterwards. Mark down the 31st. We're gonna have the big Halloween stream. Me and my full Beskar goodness. Means I gotta get my ass to work, Carth, on this fucking rifle. It's like Legos. It's shit tons of pieces that I have to glue and put together, dude. Springs and glue and fuck.
That sounds like so much fun.
It really is not, yeah. But it's for the kids. It's for all you guys. I was like, if I'm gonna do the big stream, I got to put because I've just been dreading putting that thing together. I'm like, I gotta have it on display. We got the Grogu egg and him, and I've got the animatronic Grogu. We're gonna have a full, very nice display for Halloween for you guys. So, yeah. Oh, Kai, yeah, we
Wouldn't
talked
that be
about the catch-up
nice
mechanics.
if
Yeah, the
we
the
were
light side bundles
older?
are extraordinary. They are extraordinary. All right, final call for questions and stuff. Get your final call. Final call for questions. Questions. No questions. No questions. No
All the
questions.
questions.
All the questions. Yes. No. Maybe so.
And there's some more lurking, I guarantee. They just gotta type
There you are,
faster, that's
lurking.
all.
I can see him out there.
All right, 1 point.
Yeah, well, actually, I do have to paint it. I have to get all the primer and stuff on it first. So yes, I will be painting it. So that's true. That I will be doing some sanding and painting on this piece of shit.
I mean, you say piece of shit like it's not a good thing, and it's a very good
Well,
thing.
Carthen, you get your ass down here and come wet sand this shit and see how
I
you
mean,
feel.
listen,
Okay. Oh, okay. You're not so excited about it anymore now, are you?
no, it's a very expensive trip to make for a extra to
I'd take
hands.
you out for dinner. You'd have some fun.
I mean, I wouldn't argue that point for nothing. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying.
We'll drink. We'll
It's
be merry. Trust me, plenty of bourbon.
I
So.
would just need to be there for more than like, a day.
Well, you'd have to be because it's a 3 or 4 day process. So you'd be here for quite a few days, buddy.
Oh, well, there you go. So that's the vacation pencils out then.
Kaya, question: do you want more kits that don't rely on speed as much? I'm very happy to have kits that don't rely on speed and stuff.
I like some of the theory crafting behind like the
I
Moff
do
Gideon
too.
kit and the
It's
Seer
different. I
stuff.
like it.
It's different and I like having some different uniquenesses. But at the same time, the game is so predicated on having speed being a critical component that I like the only things that I think they can move forward with if they want to do like non-steam speed oriented teams is to do more stuff like Moff Gideon, where it's like if they gain turn meter or they take a bonus turn, there's a punishment effect for it in place. That would make a lot more like interest for me because like right now, like the Seer Malico stuff that they've got, yeah, everyone's moving before you is kind of nice and whatever, but it also leaves you disadvantaged because there are the counters that work against it work because they outrun you so damn hard. So it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter if you ramp 100% additional offense if Malicos is dead before he gets to take a turn. So it's just one of those things where it's like the mechanics are fun, but I feel like there needs to be a better balance on what you're trying to shut out.
Great. Yes, light speed bundles are extraordinary, Nathan H. Root.
I would be okay with more. Like
Good morning. I shouldn't.
can't do anything with them, but I would like to see them be very open to getting basically Ray Slacker's already been out, but I would be okay within the next 3 months to see something for JML and for C, helping get those characters brought up, especially if they want to do, you know, because it just brings up so many characters. Like JML, if you had a pack for JML, it would bring up so many characters to a viable spot that would be instantaneously worth it. And then if you did something separately for Jedi Knight Luke event, but you got all the characters there, that again, massive star gating you're not waiting for anymore. I think it would be worth it to do something like that, and then maybe in a year from now, look at doing JMK and Lord Vader stuff, and then just keep like every 2 years after a GL's been out, then look at doing a Lightspeed bundle for them to get players caught up.
That says true. Thanks for your thoughts. We appreciate you with your thoughts there, Kyle. Glad to have you here asking good questions. We can't do anything without you guys participating.
It would be a very boring show.
Nathan says, I bought the Lightspeed bundle pack and helped me get up Darth Revan. Of course, that's what they're for. He says there are more coming out eventually if the data man should be believed. Yes, believe them. It is coming.
Yeah, but what they do is the question, right? That's where it comes down to is like I don't think the ones that are coming are going to be for GLs again. I think they're going to be for old legendary characters. So I think you're going to see something for, you know, Palpatine and Thrawn and GMY and characters like that they're going to make the value really good by being like, we're going to give you the R5 requirements, right? It's going to be way more than you need, but it'll incentivize you to buy the pack, and then they're going to just help you bolster factions by giving you these packs, which is going to be just so nutty. I mean, it's still not going to change anything that we said before. Like the Zeta issue and the mod issue is still going to mean that people that wail for this kind of stuff aren't going to be. They'll be ahead of their peers, but they will not be ahead of people who have spent more time in the game than they have.
Great. All right, final call. Get your questions in, homies and homettes. Watching my bounty hunters get molested. The leftover bounty hunters, yeah, what they do. Although Greedo, man, when Greedo does some good work, man, he really does some good work. You know what I'm saying? And he's dead now.
Yeah, I was like I think Scribe had a raid or two ago. He's like, Greedo, I need you to pop off, and then literally Greedo kept hitting him until he maxed the damage. It's like, where was this like all those times before?
And now my characters are toast. And they're dead. Okay. I got that done. Question: how much do you like the Loki series? I have not had a chance to binge it yet. Hopefully I get some time today this weekend. I doubt it, but eventually I'll get to it.
For me, I'm not a huge Marvel fan, so I have no opinion worth anyone's time on it.
Kai says, I mean, I will admit Gas event can be tough, but it was interesting. It was basically pain and suffering for me. So now the Malik event was much more interesting. Although it was tough, I loved the puzzle.
Malik was a lot more of a puzzle.
And I loved that. It was more interesting, but the Gas was just pain. As far as I'm concerned, it's just pain.
Gas, the Asajj one was the pain part. The Padme part was strategy.
There was some pain still to that one too.
There was a strategy you could implement versus the Separatist one without having an actual leader for your droid team. You just had so little going on.
So RNG and just and the lower your gear on your characters, the worse it was, man. It was
so I mean that was. But I'm okay with those kind of things. Is like, because I like having a challenge, and especially if it's a 7-star unlock, which they did say that Bo-Katan is going to be. I'm okay with it. I would love to see some of that stuff show up. So
I bet you did, Nathan H. Am I running the Ahsoka series this weekend? I do need to do that. We'll do that here in about 2 hours. So, what's it? Give me an hour. So 1 Eastern or 1 Central, 2 Eastern, I'll do that for you guys. I'll tag everybody in Discord. I'll run it so you guys can watch it. So yeah. Car that's just like Canderous. He likes a challenge. Yes. Ranger
I
remember Thrawn. I
mean,
remember Thrawn, but Thrawn ain't got shit on what I went through with gas. Chewie, Thrawn, all those. Yes, there was some pain and suffering. I remember those horribly well, but gas was on another goddamn. You want it tomorrow? Well, we're supposed to be doing D&D tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Because once D&D ends, then I can just do a Ahsoka. All right, we'll do it tomorrow. All right, what else? 23. We'll do it on a Sunday afternoon.
on a Tuesday.
Tuesday afternoon. There's 8 total episodes.
It's like
All right, we'll do it tomorrow.
six-ish.
We'll do it tomorrow once I get figure out when D&D is happening and stuff like that. So yeah, Karth, what do you have left even to work on at this point? Not much.
I mean, whatever's new. That's the answer. Like,
Mhm.
100%. That's what happens here. Is I work on whatever's new.
Gas can
And
be
so it's
painful, especially Taco Bell. Not the kind of gas we're talking about. Although get Taco Bell gas and batteries are not good. I'll do it on Sunday. What else? 23. We'll keep it as tradition. There you go.
oh,
Because my
don't do
Stros
that.
don't
No,
play till that night, so I can easily knock it in after D&D and stuff, which I didn't know was
you
still happening.
poo-poo head.
I know I am. All right, with
I'm
that,
not
I think we can start wrapping it up. So with that, I'm going to go be doing arts and crafts, and they'll give me time to go work on this
how's
rifle.
my Paz? My Paz is 5-star
He's not going to
tier
go hard on that.
11.
Yeah.
No, there's no point. Like until we have an event that's worth it, like I'm not gonna touch it. Like that's how I go with all the new marquees. They go to 5 stars, so I get the title, the portrait, and the Omicron mats, and then they just sit there until they need to
Yeah.
be shipment farmed or they go to hard known farms or whatever the farm is.
All right, last
So
question we'll do is have you been using the Marauder ship? You should for
yeah,
Galactic Republic. It's not good on defense, but if you're going to keep it for offense, it's awesome.
it's good on defense
Yeah, he
depending on
does
what
some
they hit
stupid
it.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, depending on what breaks loose, but on offense, I mean, it's beaten the Executor. It's beaten Leviathan. You know,
Yeah.
it is a bananas good offensive lifter to that, and I don't know if they're going to fix the bug or what the bug will even fix. So
That's
I'm
right.
hoping that it's still crazy bananas goodness, and we get to just revel in the fact that team's clapped cheeks. So.
Like I've got my negotiator on defense. You know what? Should I put in the starting lineup or should I
The Marauder, I would put it on the starting lineup because it's not a very good reinforcement.
Let's do that. Let's edit this. We'll put that in there for you guys. Like the Republic. Put that in there. It's only 6 stars, but I got all the abilities, so that's all it needs.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't even need to be 7 stars. It just hits harder at 7 stars. That's all.
And I'll get it someday, but I mean that event drop rate was awful. And someone says, "Why didn't you do the 200?" Because the drop rates was shite. When I'm getting 0 and 1, you ain't gonna make me spend 200 crystals.
Well, and you have other things that are other
Yeah,
priorities, right?
yeah.
It's like we had that event drop right before this event
Yeah,
for Leia, where like this is where you'd want to put your crystals if you were
yeah.
going to speak, but
I was smart.
spending crystals, yeah. It's like I on my alt, I only went through the hundreds and I got a 5. I'm like 3 shards short of a 6-star unlock, and that's fine. I don't care because it's not meta defining enough to need to have out the rip. It works at low stars. So
All right, with that, we're gonna call this one done. So hit the thumbs up on your way out, or if you're watching this later on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Leave comments. Questions are always appreciated. After this, you want to go watch the lore video, you should. It's a really fun one, so go check that out. We'll do Ahsoka tomorrow. I'll give you a date and time once everything's set in place. And so with that, everyone have a great rest of your day. Love it. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us and join our Discord, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you on tomorrow if we have D&D, and Monday for sure because we got GAC to wrap up on a manic Monday. Oh, wish it was Sunday. Oh, that's not fun day. It's getting there, Kaya. We're getting there. All right, everyone have a great day. Love you guys, and we will talk to you later.